Welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show by DCI. It's a wise way to start the day. Hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone!
Hi.
Welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show. And today we have Michael, of course, and Kelly and myself from Singapore. It's the 5th of May, Tuesday. So we have an electronic calendar this time around. And today's question, it's something that is really interesting for us. So Kelly, would you like to play the video for us?
Sure.
Hi, Gasla. My name is Thanh, and I'm come from Vietnam. We love you so much about your teaching, and I have questions about debts. Number one is, which is exactly karma that leads us get to be in debt? Number two, how can we resolve these problems? Thanks for your listening. Bye-bye.
Right. That's Sam from Vietnam. Well, her question is, what is the seeds to be in debt and how can we resolve our debt issue? I think this is a big thing that is, happening. I think also because of the current COVID situation, a lot of businesses are affected and not doing well and might also be getting into debt. So I think this is also a good time for us to be talking about this topic, right?
Yeah. It's a big topic.
Shall we? What? Oh, I want to ask Gishla, what does he think?
No. You talk first.
What do you think, Kelly?
You have to remember this is late night in Arizona. We are doing Singapore morning show. You guys are fresh.
Usually night are pretty aware too, alert too. Well, for me, I feel like we know the top 10 and we know, like, we understand we plant money seeds to get money. And then, so what's the seeds for us to see us being in debt? I think it's direct opposite of like giving money. It's probably not the seeds not to respect other people's properties and things. And then it could be small seeds of stealing. Like for me, when I was younger, I used to steal money from my mom's purse. So like stole $50 from her purse, and no seeds of stealing. And as it grows, and it could ripen to be something big as debt as well. So these are small seeds that planted in the past, and then over time it could create seeing yourself being in debt. Yeah. What do you think?
Me?
Yeah, Jeannie, you have an idea? I'm starting to get an idea, but I want you to go first.
Okay, got that. I was thinking also, like, when we talk about not respecting their things or property, or we don't respect people's money and time. I feel like we take it for granted that if they have money, they should give it to me, or like, I should have some access to it. So then borrowing money, I feel, becomes like this, given that if I don't have money, then the next natural thing to do is to go ask for it. Because if you have it, you should share it with me. And that in a way goes back to the wrong, I feel it's the wrong worldview or the wrong understanding of where money really comes from. And I feel that how people get in debt is because of that perpetuation of that wrong understanding and of how to make money. Because if you know how to make money, you wouldn't even go into debt.
Yeah.
So that's just my preliminary idea that I have. Maybe Gishla, you can share with us more.
So I'm thinking about business debt, okay?
Right.
And so in the diamond business, nobody can afford to keep diamonds. They're too much. It's too much money. So we will buy the diamond. We will use bank money. And then after we make the jewelry from the diamond and we sell the jewelry, we will pay back the bank and we will make some profit, hopefully. So I was very familiar with debt in the diamond business. Every diamond company has debt. And we have to, because the diamonds cost too much. Then one day I got a call from Christie's auction house. And they said, we need a diamond expert, And I said, why? They said, we will hire you. I said, okay. Then they took me to a big bank in New York City. And the vice president said, we've loaned money to a diamond company, and they gave us diamonds for collateral. You know, so we kept a package of big diamonds in the vault, and we want you to check them because this company is going bankrupt now. And can you check them? Then I was trained in the diamond school. Never check the diamonds by yourself. So I told the vice president, you have to come with me to the vault and we will sit together and you watch my hands, you know. And I checked the diamonds. And then I said, you know what? These are all fake. 100% zirconium, all of them, you know. And the guy's like, Then he said, what can I do? You know, I said, you can throw them out, you know. It's like 10 cents each diamond. And but one thing I will offer to you, I will make earrings for your wife with the fake diamond. Then you can make your wife happy, you know. So what I mean is, then in the diamond business, because we are borrowing money from these big banks, we feel like we don't have to worry so much if we don't pay it on time. Or, you know, these people are so rich, these banks are so rich, you know, we don't really feel so bad if we cannot pay the debt on time or something. But then the banker told me, no, you don't understand. Whose money is in the bank is all these little people, you know, whose money is in the bank. It's not my money. We are a big bank, but we have many small people's money in our bank. So if you don't pay the debt to the business banks, actually you are cheating. We call mom and pop, you know, you are cheating the small people, and they will lose their money. So I think when we borrow money, even from rich people, people we think they are rich, I think you have to understand that usually that money is small people's money. And you're hurting many, many people when you take a debt and you don't pay it. It's not the big bank. That vice president's salary won't go down. They will hold the money for the small people. You know, so I think it's important to think like that. What do you guys think?
I think it's really cool to think of it that way, because most people will have the mentality that anyway, I'm just getting a loan from the bank, I'm paying them interest, so it doesn't matter. So long as they pay the debt and pay the interest, that's fine. So they may have the thought that it's fine just taking a loan and just pay interest. Yeah, but I think from your perspective, it does hit it on us to really think about, yeah, the bank, who gives the banks money? It's all everybody's, little people's money, everyone who put the money in the bank. So it's everybody's money. So that strikes a very important point. Then I would also want to look at the perspective about taking personal loans, which means it's not from the bank, like money borrowed from friends or family. Then does it create an impact? Personally, I feel like, as you said, these are all people's hard-earned money. They spend time to work to make all that money, and then again by borrowing money from them and then not returning. And that's also kind of like not respecting people's money and time, because they spend years to probably make the money, and then you just borrowed it and you don't return it, and that is kind of a bad seed in that way. And the fact that when we don't return them the money, like every day I'm thinking, when is this person going to return me the money? I have that kind of worry, like, when are you going to return me the money? Should I call or should I not call? You know, that kind of worrying whether will I get back my money. So I think in a sense, you not only plant money seed, like losing money because of that loan, you also plant worry seed on the people who lend you the money. So
Yeah.
that's a kind of like a vicious cycle in a way, that you not only have debt, but you also have worry because you cause worry on other people.
Yeah,
That's what I feel. What do you think?
Like, Jeannie, you were talking about the cycle. Like, what's the seed to have a cycle? Because usually people borrow money then they can't pay it back, so they borrow more money from somebody else, and it becomes a very vicious cycle. So what caused this seed? What's the seed for this?
Misunderstanding where all things are coming from.
Oh, come on, that's a seed for everything.
I feel it's also a seed of habit. Like every seed creates a habit,
Yeah.
and that creates a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Then you get into the habit of taking loans and borrowing money, and then it's very difficult to get out of the habit. The moment you're in trouble, okay, I should find someone to lend money, to borrow money to get some money. So it could create that vicious cycle of the habit.
There's some tradition in America, old tradition, like 100 years ago, that to loan money to people is immoral.
Whoa.
That you're hurting them when you loan money to them. And, actually good people were supposed to never, there's a saying in American English, never a borrower or a lender be. And it was considered immoral to loan money to people because it will hurt them. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. To make a profit from other people's misery.
Okay.
It was considered immoral. I don't know. Money lending was considered immoral.
If you're talking about like I don't know, like because Kelly and I did have this conversation about money lending, whether it's legal or illegal, because there's this gray area whereby when you call them, let's say we talk about illegal money lenders, right? That for sure, I feel stronger that it's immoral because they charge insane, They charge insane interest rates that because they promise fast cash, right? Means like if you want to borrow the money, I have it, you can take it. And then because that person is not in the state of mind where they will calculate how much interest it is, how much I have to return, they will just take the money. But then the next thing they know is that they can never get out of it. They just end up paying more interest. They just keep paying off the interest rate, but they never get to pay off the debt. So in the illegal sense, I feel that that's a big no-no to lend people money that way. But then we started talking about the legal money lenders, right? Now there's this thing called legal money lenders, and we were like, what? But then they sent, I was like, what? It drives me crazy because they kind of function on that legal shield, they have the law on their side now. But yet at the same time, they can put people to jail because you can't return me my money.
Yeah.
So I feel very uncomfortable with like money lending as a business. I feel like, okay, maybe if it's for a business, right? I can put up collateral. Like if I want to borrow a sum of money, I'll put up my mortgage of my house. If I can't pay it back, you can take it back. It's like a trade. But if it's money for more money, when I have no money, then it's kind of like setting the person up to fail. That's what I feel. But if it's personal money lending, then as the person lending the money, I need to be prepared that I'm not going to get the money back. If I'm comfortable with that, then I can give the money away. So when I kind of lend the money, I should be thinking I'm giving it away. If not, then don't do it. That's what I feel.
I have a question for you guys. Is it moral if you're supposed to be a four-step person and you loan money to someone? Should you always forgive the loan, or should you take them to the court to get the money? What's moral? What's compassion? Can there ever be a case where it's compassionate to force a person to be responsible?
Whoa.
I asking someone to pay back, it's also for the sake of the other person, not to plant bad seeds, but to bring them to court may or may not work. Because you're just putting,
But to try to take them to court, is it okay? If a person takes another person to court to collect their money, can it be compassionate?
I think it
I
can.
think it can be. It's a
Yeah,
motivation.
I think so too. I have friends who borrow money from me, and then I think sometimes, like my teacher was very tough with me. I borrow money from him sometimes, and he would say, "Okay, but if you don't give it on this day, you're gonna pay me 20% extra, 30% extra." And so I learned to be responsible. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it can be compassionate. I think so.
Yeah.
So then the
I
question
think
would be then like what can we do to overcome problems in debt? Like for example, I didn't know better right now, like then I end up in debt. Then what can I do, as a person who's in debt? Or as a person who knows that someone is in debt, what can we do to help them get out of it?
yeah, especially when we talk about it's such a vicious cycles that keep going down. Like it feels like there's no way out. Then is there something we can really do to resolve the debt issue? So I
Uh,
think that's probably
my opinion, okay, just my opinion, is when you borrow money and when you can't pay it back, it's like you are walking into that person's house at night and you are stealing the money. You know, it's not different for me. You know, I mean, if you don't pay back when you say you're going to pay back, actually you are stealing from that person. It's you might as well go on the street in Singapore and hit the smallest lady you can find and steal her purse. You know, it's the same. To me, it's the same. You know, so I think if you're gonna be a good business person or you're gonna be a good person, you have to think about it that way. You know, if you don't pay back money, I don't see much difference from stealing it. You know, it seems like the same to me. So I think personally, I would rather go hungry than not to pay my debts. You know, I would rather do anything than not to. I think that's a good attitude. Maybe I think so. I don't know. And I
then
think
how would you
otherwise you're gonna get in trouble.
how can we get like do 4 steps to get out of that this
Oh,
debt?
mm,
There are people who ask like, should I do plant money seeds or should I be helping someone with debt? So that's the 4 steps question that people often ask.
I think personally, you can be generous with people, and
Yeah.
but that's not the exact seed. It's not exactly the same. I think you do have to find someone else who has a debt problem.
Right.
And so there's a very famous situation. Where I tell somebody, you go and find other people with debt and you try to help them, and then they will say, Gishla, I don't know anybody like that. And then I will say, okay, you check for 2 days and then you come back to me. Then they will check, they will ask their friends, they will ask their family, then they will come back after 2 days. I found 10 people, you know, around me who I didn't know they have a debt problem. And now I understand many people have this problem. So I think if you ask people gently, you can find many people with debt problem around you, and then you help them.
Cool.
Now I have a question for you guys.
It's coming
So
back.
you are the person in debt because you don't know how to manage your finances.
Right.
And then your job is to do the 4 steps with another person in debt who doesn't know how to manage their finances. How can a person who doesn't know how to manage their finance help the other person who doesn't know how to manage their finance? Who are you to help other people?
Gee,
I
What do you mean?
I guess maybe then the how do I say, we shouldn't go in with thinking that I am gonna help you, even though I don't know anything. But it's more of like, we are in this together. Let's learn together how to get out of it together. Maybe we will read a book, maybe we will attend some classes together. So then
Yeah,
it's about the motivation, I guess, like, not about pride, but more of like, let's get out of it together. Then I will focus on helping you, you focus on helping me.
I like that a lot. It's the same with anger. You know, if I have a problem with anger and I have to go find an angry person, and of course, you shouldn't tell them you're the most angry person I know, and I'm going to help you uh, because I have an anger problem. So yeah, I like that when you say let's work on it together. You know?
So I guess like because of time constraints right now, maybe Kelly, would you like to do a summary for us for
Yeah, like 3 real actions you can do if you have debt problem.
Okay. So I think we started off with why we see that is because of the seeds of small seeds of could be not respecting people's property, like stealing, or I think even a lot of not respecting intellectual property, like yeah, a lot of all this pirated stuff, movies and software and stuff like that. So a lot of not respecting, and even the important one with evading taxes. So these are all serious seeds that you may have planted in the past, and that causes you to see yourself in debt. And Gish Michael mentioned that debt is basically a serious problem, be it a personal loan or a loan from the bank. So all these are bad seeds. It's as good as, you know, going to someone's house and dropping their money. So it's as bad as that. So we have to be very careful with taking loans and be, you know, work on yourself on how much you can spend rather than going to take loans. And because every seeds create a habit, and that's the vicious cycle that keep going down. And then we talk about how to go about to get out of debt, how to resolve that issue is to force-step someone with that issue. And then Gish Michael mentioned about how to help them with managing their finances. If you have problem managing finances, then work on your forceps partner to help them and plan out how to manage your finances. You don't need to know everything in order to help someone. The idea is your motivation, your intention to help them. You can do it together to help each other. That's the whole idea about planting seeds. And there you plant the seeds to see yourself getting out of that. And you really need to coffee meditate on it. Yeah, that pretty sums up.
In the Heart Sutra,
Yeah.
The Buddha at the end, he says, great, perfect, 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 Lexo, Lexo, Lexo.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna sum up. Maybe Gishila, you have one more thing that you wanted to share with the audience, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. This is a special class. There will be 65 classes about the ancient wisdom. And these are very, very deep. If you are in lockdown in Singapore for an extra month now until June 1st, if you have trouble sleeping, then at your nighttime, you can watch this translator class in Arizona in the morning, and it will put you to sleep very easily. So I suggest this class. Very deep, going very deep. It's a 2-week class, 65 classes from the great books, the great classics of Asia. Yeah.
So a lot,
Jean, you
just to sorry.
have some marketing to do?
Yeah, to sum up, guys, send in your questions. Seed questions at diamondcutterinstitute.com. Sorry, because I can't leave home to buy printer ink. So there you go, guys. Send in your questions, and tomorrow's video, maybe Kelly would like to show us, then we will wrap up.
Oh, wait, I have one more.
Oh, okay.
This is low tech, Arizona low tech. If you want to send in your music mix and share it with other people on Peachtree Cafe, here's the place you can send the music, Spotify music mix. And every Friday, we are announcing the winner of the music mix. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, don't miss it.
So tomorrow we are having Juan and Victor who will be answering this question.
Right.
With the same goal problem, do they need to acknowledge having it? Or is it enough that I see that person as having that problem and start helping them eliminate it? An example, alcohol addicted people often do not see themselves as addicted. By me trying to help them drop it, will I plant the anti-addiction seeds?
or helping an angry person reduce his anger while he does not see anger as his problem, or helping someone reduce their debt when they do not see their debt as a big problem.
Okay,
Right.
cool. Then we will look forward to tomorrow's episode with Juan and Victor. So everyone.
Yeah, by the way, the question is, if I have an anger problem,
Yeah.
then I'm supposed to find the other person with an anger problem to help them. But what if this person says to me, look, I don't have an anger problem? Then what can we do? Okay.
Right. Related to the Starbucks partner.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you guys for listening in for today's show episode. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks for watching today's Peachtree Morning Show. See you next time.